Hello, everybody. Welcome to a very special Trek on Tuesday. Aaron and I have been vested with great power and a great topic. Right, Aaron?
With great power comes great responsibility, I think wise people have said. And we are so excited to start talking about this Thursday is a big day, Gina. We're going to talk all about that. And we have prizes today to give away. Maybe that's the most important thing. We have prizes to give away today.
Today is the kickoff to the kickoff. Okay, and we'll explain what that means in a second. But we can never bury the lead, bury what you guys are here to hear about. We are giving away two really big prizes today. Thank you to Alps Mountaineering. We're giving away an Acropolis 4-person tent, and when you see this, you'll know why you want it. This thing is not, like it's a really cool piece of gear. It retails for $300. Okay, we're giving it away today. All you have to do to enter to win is comment along with today's show. You guys, there's a distinctive aluminum frame on this thing you might be able to spot. It also has a full coverage rain fly, so you kind of have the opportunity to sleep amongst the stars or cover that thing up if it's a windy, rainy, or cold night. Pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's only one of two things we're giving away though today, Aaron.
Yeah, we've done giveaways before, but I think today our two giveaways that we have are two items. Gina just showed you the tent. The second item that we have to give away, by the way, is a really good backpack. Speaking of just nice stuff, and speaking of high adventure, you're going to need this backpack. Gina, correct me if I'm wrong. This is a Nomad backpack, right?
Yes. Again, this is brought to us by Alps Mountaineering, and it is to give you the specs. It's a 75-liter pack. But I believe it can go from 65 to 85 liters. It's a little bit flexible because it has a roll top main compartment, so it's expandable. It's lightweight. It's got nylon, double ripstop fabric, and a custom fit adjustable suspension system. Again, that's a $250 backpack we're looking at here from Alps Mountaineering. And why are we giving these things away today? Because we are celebrating the high adventure bases, and registration is about to open up.
We have more than $500 combined worth of stuff to give away between our two items. How exciting is that? Exactly. And the reason why, as Gina said, it is almost time to register for 2025 National High Adventure Base treks. I've got it up on my screen, Gina. We're about 1 day, 8 hours, 56 minutes, and 30 seconds from registration opening. Now that happens on Thursday. Why are we telling you about it now? Well, we want you to be prepared. There are a few basic things you need to know about registering. We're going to talk about that today. If you don't know anything about the National High Adventure Bases, that's cool. We're going to talk about that as well today. The whole purpose of this show is to get you guys ready to register on Thursday, whether you're already planning on going or whether you haven't even thought about it yet. Either is fine. We don't care. We're just here to get you ready.
We have the right audience for today's show for multiple reasons. I see Scouts BSA Troop 136 is saying we love Alps tents. Lonnie says that they have that pack we're giving away in a 50-liter size, and it is a great pack. So they're pretty excited for the chance to win today. Again, all you have to do to enter to win one of those two awesome prizes is comment along with today's show. But the real gift is we are going to give you the heads up on what it means that registration for High Adventure Bases opens on Thursday, what Thursday is going to look like, what you need to know going into Thursday. And I want to blow some minds here. If you haven't even thought about if you want to go on a 2025 trek, you still have time. You still have time to have a unit meeting, or, maybe you guys message in some kind of a group message system and decide, hey, 2025 is a little bit of a ways out. Do we think we can do this? And what will we want to do? It's all possible.
It can all be done, and we are here to tell you all about it. You also may not be aware. I think most people watching probably know, you go backpacking at Philmont. Yeah, but what does that entail? What is that all about? That's kind of what we're here to talk about today. Oh, yeah, at Sea Base, you get to go scuba diving, or you get to go snorkeling. You also get to go sailing. You get to spend the night on like a deserted island. You get to do all kinds of cool stuff like that. We're going to kind of give you all the rundown today. And like Gina said, whether you're prepared to sign up on Thursday or not, hey, it's not too late to talk about it with your unit, with your scouts, with your family. Decide what you want to do and get ready to go for it.
We were talking right before the show, but I think a misconception I had until, we talked more with the High Adventure Bases through Trek on Tuesday is I kind of thought you think, oh, I want to go to Philmont, like you said, or I want to go to Seabase. And that was your decision. And you go on a trek to Seabase and you just go on the Seabase trek, or you just go on the Philmont trek. It gets much more granular than that. There are a lot of options at all the high adventure bases, and you can do that research beforehand to know which trek are you aiming to sign up for when the registration opens, because some of these treks fill up really fast and you want to be able to jump on it. And if you are ready to jump on it, there's a pretty good chance you're going to get in there. And if you're not able to jump on it, there's still going to be room for different treks that might be available at different high adventure bases. But it is important to kind of know going in, this is our first choice. This is our second choice. Maybe even this is our third choice. Because I have heard, like at the summit, we were talking earlier, there's a couple of those treks that fill up really quickly.
And it's probably also worth noting that there are no bad choices. If you get your third choice, you're going to have the time of your life. It's going to be a life-changing experience. I also want to just point out real quick, we're talking about 2025. You're probably thinking, what Gina and Aaron, it's January 16th, 2024. If you think, well, I'm not really prepared to go on a high adventure base trek yet, we're talking about 2025. You have time to prepare. And actually, I've got some information about that too. We've got all of that stuff covered. And as a reminder, Gina, what do they have to do to win today?
Just comment along. We are giving away a 4-person tent from Alps Mountaineering, and we are also giving away a Nomad backpack, and it's an adjustable size backpack. Aaron, you said something that I want to make sure we touch on. When we say treks fill up and some don't as quickly, that is not because of, oh, these ones are popular, these ones aren't. That is true. Treks are popular. Pretty much all of them are popular, but some of them have limited spaces. It's just you can't accommodate as many scouts. There's not as much staff per scout rate. It's less about, is it a cool trek? Because they're all literally life-changing. Never heard of a scout go on any of the treks and not call it life-changing, that they learned a lot. It's just all about how much space they have.
Yeah, the Philmont backcountry is not overrun with people. It's just the opposite exactly. And this is one of the reasons why there are limited spaces available. But as Gina said, you can do your first, second, or maybe even third choice. No matter what you get, it is going to be awesome. Thursday is the day where you're going to register for it. We're about 1 day, 8 hours now, 51 minutes and 50 seconds away, Gina. And in the next about 22 minutes, we're going to give away 2 really big items. Obviously, we'd love to hear from you guys. Comment, say hello, comment and say hi. But we'd also love to hear, I would love to hear stories. Have you guys ever been to a high adventure base before? What did you do there? What trek did you go on? What was your experience? I would love to know what folks have learned from high adventure bases. Was there something you forgot that you wish you had known about? Is there any tidbits of knowledge or experience information you can share with other folks about, hey, if you go to Philmont, make sure you do this, this, and this. We're going to get into some of that today. I've got the official BSA document on that pulled up. But hey, nothing beats actual real experience, right? Talking to people who have gone there. I know there's a lot of viewers who have been there before, who have had wonderful times there. Tell us all about that. And when you do that, by the way, you'll also be entered for a chance to win one of our 2 really cool prizes. Yep.
So I'd also like to say, if you are a super planner and you know which trek you're wanting to get into for 2025, let us know. Let us know what you're hoping to get. Like, what are you planning for? We'd love to hear about that. You guys might be thinking I'm looking at my phone, and you're correct. I am. It's because we are on Instagram. We are live on Instagram right now, and it's pretty cool to see. So I'll be checking out your comments there. Wherever you're commenting, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, we'll be picking a winner randomly, 2 winners randomly for our giveaway items today. And I believe we're seeing some awesome comments about Cub Scout packs, troops. The good news is, if you are a Cub Scout pack, maybe you can't head to the high adventure base for a traditional trek right away, you are still eligible to win when you are commenting along with today's show. It's still valuable to watch these, just so you know what's kind of coming up. And there are opportunities for Cub Scouts at the high adventure bases now with things like family adventure camp. So pretty cool.
Yeah, and this gear will still be good 2 or 3 years from now when your scouts are old enough to go on a high adventure trek. That's how good quality. I was really kind of surprised and relieved. When I heard we're giving away gear, I'm like, oh, I hope it's good gear. It is good gear. Thank goodness. This is really valuable stuff. We've done shows before about gear, right? And what you need to look for and what you don't need to worry about. This gear has everything you need. We've already had some folks in the comments talk about their experience with this gear. Gina, maybe really quick, if you're okay with it, I've got a document open on my screen right now with 7 steps that folks can follow to be prepared for high adventure. Is now a good time to get into that, do you think?
Absolutely. After I just mentioned that James, as he went to Philmont in 2021, it was really fun. There was way more than backpacking. There were also program activities. And Gigi says she's hoping to go to Sea Base in 2025.
Cool. That is awesome. We'd love to. And by the way, the 2 folks who just commented that, you guys are now entered to win. That's all you had to do. Just share that little bit of knowledge. That's awesome. Keep that coming. I want to share with everybody real quick, the first thing to do, if you haven't yet decided, you know, if you're going to go on a high adventure trek in 2025 or not, the first thing to do, and Gina mentioned this earlier, sit down with your scouts and your leaders, senior patrol leaders, and just try to decide what you want to do, right? Where do you want to go? You've got 4 choices. There's Philmont Scout Ranch in the gorgeous, pristine mountains of New Mexico. There's Florida Sea Base, which is really popular. There's a couple of different properties down in Florida. There's the Summit Bechtel Reserve. Thanks to them for sending us these awesome sweatshirts. That's out in West Virginia. That's our newest high adventure base right by New River Gorge National Park. And there's Northern Tier way up north. I wonder what the weather at Northern Tier is like today, Gina. It's pretty cold right here today, but I bet it's colder at Northern Tier. They offer winter treks.
Today.
Yep. They offer winter treks, and they also offer summer canoe treks. So you've got 4 different parts of the country, 4 really different types of activities. At Sea Base, obviously, you've got the aquatics activities, scuba diving, snorkeling, sailing, all that good stuff like that. At the Summit, you've got whitewater rafting, you've got rock climbing, you've got things like skateboarding, BMX biking. At Northern Tier, like we said, there are winter treks going on there right now. There's also a summer canoeing program, the Boundary Waters. Literally, I'm not exaggerating when I say it's like the best canoeing in North America. Like if you search best canoeing in North America, you know, scout or no scout, the Boundary Waters are where you want to go. You can do that. And then, of course, there's Philmont, known for its backpacking, but also offering programs, horseback riding programs.
Known for its horseback riding.
But yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So the first step, if you haven't decided yet, it's time to decide, guys. Think about what you want to do for 2025.
I want to read some comments if you're okay with that, Aaron. And a reminder, each of these commenters is entering for a chance to win a 4-person tent or a 75-liter backpack. Sharon says her son has been to the Bechtel Reserve 3 times. He loves it and would like to go again as an adult leader. Yeah. If you're a leader watching this and you're like, I really want my unit to go, that's great. Talk to them. There's no shame in that. Your unit doesn't have to independently come up with the idea to say, hey, we want to go to Philmont. They honestly might not have any clue about it. So it's okay if you are a leader and you want to like plant that seed, ask them if they're interested, tell them you're committed to helping make it work if they want to make it work. Sometimes it's just hard to get everybody like, they think they need to give this 100% commitment, or you feel like you need everyone's 100% commitment right away, but it's more just having confidence that you can fill the spots that you need to. Jessie says she told her scout he needs to plan ahead and sell a lot of popcorn. He wants Swamp Base, which is, you know, different than our national high adventure bases, but so many cool reports on that. Their trip is a backpack.
It's awesome.
Oh, I have heard such great things. Looks so cool. Mm-hmm. Another totally unique part of the country. For 2025, Rob says they have a crew going to Philmont, and I think they have one going to Northern Tier. They have Troop 4018 has 2 crews going to Sea Base in 2024. Jan wants to take her son to Virginia or Florida. Very cool. Mm-hmm. Melissa says she's hoping to take her little tiger cub out to one of the family adventure camps someday. I expect he will love to do a trek when he's old enough. Yes, we'll talk more about family adventure camp in the coming months, Melissa, so definitely stay tuned. Chris would love to take his son to Philmont. I like Dan's comment. There in Maine, they've got a boys troop and a girls troop. They want to take both troops on a Philmont trek. They've never been as a scout or a scouter. They also have a high adventure, an adventure base up there in Maine, but going to New Mexico would be a really great experience for our scouts. Dan, talk to them. Maybe, 2025 is a ways out. There is time to raise funds and make it happen.
Yep. And it's worth pointing out, we've already had a few people mention their council high adventure bases. There are some local councils that run really, really cool high adventure bases. There's one up in Maine. There's one down in Louisiana. There are lots of other ones like that. But as a reminder, on Thursday, the date we're talking about, this is the National High Adventure registration dates. But still love to hear those stories. And again, all those comments, Gina, they just earned a chance to win our 2 really, really cool pieces of gear that we're going to give out in just another 15 minutes. We're halfway home, everybody. We've just got another 15 minutes or so. We're going to give away these really, really 2 cool pieces of gear. We're talking about the different steps that you need to go through to register for a high adventure trek. We've actually already hit on a lot of them already just in our discussion, but one thing you're going to need to think about is how many people are you're going to be going with you. You're going to need to make sure you have enough adults, and obviously need to make sure you have enough youth. And depending on how many, that might affect what time you go. There are different dates. Different programs are offered on different dates. Somebody in the comments, Jen, I don't know if that was you or behind the scenes, Brian, posted a link earlier to the BSA National High Adventure page. All that information is on there. Maybe Brian can show it on the screen real quick. There you go. Thank you very much. All of your questions are answered on that page right there.
And let me say, if you head there, put your email address in.
I was just going to say that.
Go ahead, Aaron. Take it away.
Just going to say that you can register, sign up for the newsletter, and get on their email list to be notified when registration opens and for other important breaking information. Look at that. 1 day, 8 hours, 43 minutes. We're getting closer and closer and closer. Sign up for the email alerts there to keep informed of when trek registration is live. Maybe, Brian, you could also real quick show them that page where it lists all the different treks one more time. There are lots of different options at the 4 different bases. I would encourage you, again, if you haven't decided already, keep your options open. There are lots of different opportunities, as you can see, depending on what you guys want to do, what you feel like. A lot of troops will go to Philmont 1 year. I know, right? Philmont 1 year, Northern Tier the next year, the Summit the next year after that, maybe Sea Base the next year after that. That's a really cool plan to have like a rotation going. And some troops even send more than one pack or more than one crew each summer, right? They might send crews to 2 different places. All of those are options if you choose to do. I think that's exactly what Rob said. That's exactly right. Like Gina said, sign up for that email list. That's a really good start to getting more information about.
And I think you'll get like an email when the registration opens if you just need a reminder on Thursday. Plus on Thursday, we haven't even mentioned this. We are going to be going live with all 4 high adventure bases throughout the day, just for a very short period of time. I think there's going to be some really, really cool prizes, but I don't know the exact details on that. I'm just saying it's totally worth tuning in if you think you might ever want to go to a high adventure base or anything like that. Yeah, we will be live on Thursday. And I think, well, I definitely don't want to take away from the idea that get your ducks in a row. Get ready for Thursday. Pick the trek of your dreams. Aim for options 1, 2, or 3. If it doesn't work out Thursday and you cannot rally your unit to go, don't give up hope. There are going to be opportunities for individuals to join onto other groups and units and groups of multiple individuals. Like, there will be opportunities if you need to plan a little bit later. But all that said, I think this is what I think, Aaron. You tell me if I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. You were talking about units who it's like they are used to going every year, and they are used to. It's just like lockstep. They fundraise, because fundraising is an essential part of going to a high adventure base for most of our youth. Most of our youth and most of our parents are not just pulling this money out of their back pocket and saying, yeah, go have fun. That's really not even the way we do things in scouting. We believe you got to work hard, you got to put the effort in, and you go. So a lot of these troops are just used to the fundraising, planning, committing ahead of time, blocking that out in their calendar and going. And they do it every year, and it's just a normal thing. If your unit hasn't done that, it can feel scary. It can feel like this is out of reach. This is too big of a commitment. No one plans far enough ahead. I think that it's just about doing it that first year, committing to do it in 2025. And then things are going to feel a lot easier that next year. The youth are going to be really ramped up to be like, okay, where are we going next?
Gina, I think that you'll agree with me. And I think you'll remember we had a conversation with a young person who now works for the BSA who had memories of going to the high adventure bases as a scout. And a part of those memories was the fundraising. It was just something that they did. So what a great point, Gina. If your troop or crew has never been to a high adventure base before, now's the time to start. Just, a certain company used to say, just do it, right? Now is the time to just do it. Build that fundraising into your calendar and just plan those trips every year. It's a great way to keep older scouts engaged in the program. It's a great way to keep younger. When I say younger scouts, 13 and up is usually 13 or 14 is usually the minimum age, to sort of introduce them to a whole new world. that they might not have experienced yet. Gina mentioned that on Thursday, we're going to be doing little live cut-ins at each adventure base. Another really good resource along those same lines. Each high adventure base has their own Facebook page. So without closing out of our window right now, you can just go real quick to the Northern Tier, Summit, Vector Reserve, Philmont, and Sea Base high adventure pages. Make sure you friend those or like those pages. Be a part of that community, and they post lots of interesting information. Again, if you're thinking, I've never done this before, I don't know what it's like, a really good first step, go to those Facebook pages, start following them, and they'll post little tidbits, little updates, things, and you'll start to realize after you follow them and to get to know the program, it is not at all impossible. It is not at all something that's like, too big for you to do. Even if your troop or crew has never done it before, now is a good time to get started. Speaking of that, Gina, by the way, after you sign up, again, we're talking about 2025. We're not talking about going on a trip next week. So you might be thinking, gosh, our scouts, or even myself, I've never been on a backpacking trek. I've never canoed for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 days in the wilderness. I don't even know what to do. You have time to get ready, and that is part of the experience of going on a high adventure base. The BSA, in its own words, you'll be challenged physically, mentally, and emotionally, and you can start getting ready now. A lot of troops do practice backpacking trips on every Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon or whatever. They'll during a regular troop camp out, they will organize for the scouts that are going to be going on a high adventure base. They'll arrange a little side backpacking expedition just around that area where you just get used to carrying that weight in your pack, right? And getting used to it like that. Robin says I need to start hiking now. I agree, Robin. I do too, by the way. Now is time to do that, and you've got plenty of time. Again, just like fundraising, just like everything else, it's just something that you build into your program. If you've never done it before, now's a great time to get started.
Yeah, thinking you're maybe committing to 2025, it helps build your program year, kind of like you're saying. Tom says there's a playlist of high adventure-based videos on the Boy Scouts of America YouTube channel, which is a great way to check out each of the 4 bases. I'm going to say something bold. You could spin a wheel with all of the treks from all of the high adventure bases and just pick one. I think you're going to have a fantastic experience. I think you will never, ever, ever regret it. And I think there are so many like almost solutions that high adventure based treks offer in terms of revitalizing a unit, getting everyone to recommit, keeping older scouts just interested in the program. In fact, I think I saw a comment like that. And, Sharon is saying older scouts can be bored, but if they're taking advantage of the high adventure opportunities, they don't have any excuse to be bored. Sippy says Philmont would be a great adventure in 2025. And there's a really controversial comment / question from Rusty. Gina and Aaron, what's your personal favorite adventure bases? Rusty, I have to say, I've only been to one, which was the Summit. And I can't answer because I love the Summit. I can't imagine anything being better than the experience I had at the Summit. But I have so much nostalgia tied up in Philmont. It makes me think of like my dad and cowboys and riding a horse. Like, I want to go do that. Since I joined the BSA, I've been like, you're telling me one of the high adventure bases has a beach? Why would I not be like working from Sea Base? I mean, if Sea Base, if you ever want to bring me out for a trip, just, let me know. And then Northern Tier, I have to say, of all of the units that we've interviewed on Trek on Tuesday over the years, the one that sticks out to me the most is the scouts who portaged over there and them just talking about the experience they had. Like I'd never seen scouts so fired up and just changed and united and committed to the program. So I personally can't pick. What about you, Aaron?
Yeah, I can't pick either. I think that a lot of folks, I've seen it referred to Philmont as kind of the pinnacle of scouting, right? And that's probably true. So much history there, so much tradition. All 4 are great. All 4 are 110% great. And again, we've said this before, but they all 4 offer a unique experience. So there's no reason you have to just go to one throughout your scouting career, right? Again, if you make it part of your program, fundraising is just a part of your year-round program, and a high adventure base as part of your year-round program. Go to the different bases, try them out. Let us know which one you like the best. We'd love to hear from you. They're all great in their own special way.
They're so unique, Aaron. I think we got to emphasize that too. It's like you could never compare them. Do you like
it's exactly
mountains better? You might try to pick one, but it's just they're totally different.
Yes, I think that's a great point. One of the things that they all have in common is that they will, as Gina kind of said, revitalize and energize your troop, especially, well, I say younger, old kids, but really everybody. But, we've heard stories from scout troops whose older kids, they've reached the rank of Eagle, they've, in their minds completed the program. They stick around for one reason, that next summer's high adventure base trip. They want to go to their high adventure trip the next summer. And I want to also remind anybody real quick, when it comes to preparing for high adventure bases, talk with your local council. They may offer fundraising programs you can participate in. If you're not already participating in your council's popcorn program, camp cards, whatever it is, reach out to your local council about sort of official BSA sanctioned fundraisers. If you don't really have an established fundraiser, they can help you get started with that. There are also partial scholarships available. Check for each base. They do that individually. So check each base, their website, for more information on that. There are options, like we've said before. If it seems too big, it really isn't. I mean, I'm not going to say it's not a challenge. Of course it's a challenge. Hiking the mountains in Philmont is a challenge. It's supposed to be a challenge. That's what makes it so awesome. If anybody could do it, we'd all do it. Everybody can't do it. You have to work hard. You have to be prepared. The reward is 200 times worth it if you do it. And by the way, everybody, we are just a couple of minutes away from giving away 2 really, really cool items.
And to enter to win those, all you have to do is comment. If you don't mind, Aaron, we've got some really great comments. I want to go back because someone was saying, my troop wants to go to Cavalcade. They will need to sell lots of popcorn. Totally right, Robin. But Aaron and I both independently ran into scouts kind of when we were really, when we had talked to our, colleague at the summit who had said, fundraising is part of what I remember as fun related to going to high adventure bases. We both then, I think we are always seeing scouts selling popcorn and various, fundraiser items. And we both stopped and had different conversations maybe than we would with those scouts now. And I remember, or previously, I remember asking the scout that I saw selling popcorn, so what are you aiming for? And he was like, I just raised $4,000, which was more than I needed to go to sea base. And he didn't seem, stressed or trying to make sale. He had actually just been waiting around for me because I asked him to wait. So you can raise a lot of money. That's how these scouts get there for sure. Yeah. Robin says earning funds is part of the fun and learning.
Yeah, I independently of Gina ran into a scout at my local grocery store and just struck up a conversation with him and his mom. They were preparing to go to Northern Tier and were well on their way to raising enough money to pay for, I think, basically the whole trip. It can be done. You can do it. And like Gina said, he wasn't stressed. I mean, he was having a good time out in his scout uniform in front of the grocery store, spending an hour or two selling. I think they were selling little discount cards. So it can be done. It has been done. People do it all the time.
Yes, and I think that depending on where you live, you might be facing different hurdles fundraising-wise. Earl, we have a lot of resources and suggestions for fundraising. In fact, I'll try to make sure we share that on our Facebook soon. But definitely just search fundraising on Aaron on Scouting. There's a lot of tips there. Also want to read Rosie's comment on the Scout Life Instagram. She loves to sail, so she's trying to go to sea base for sailing. Specific needs, specific destination.
That's awesome. Yeah, Lisa says their troop are doing segments of the Colorado Trail in prep for their upcoming trip. Yeah, you'll see there's lots of scouts across the country that are doing little mini hikes. It doesn't matter where you live. You can prepare to go to Philmont or whatever it is just by doing hikes in your community. Some folks, they walk around the neighborhood. You put on a backpack. It helps you get prepared for a rugged trek like you will experience at Philmont. The last note, by the way, from the official BSA Be Prepared list is that there will be weather, equipment, or crew challenges during your adventure. Commit to working together and overcoming those kind of challenges. That's another thing. Some of the best stories that we hear from folks who go to Philmont will come back and talk about how, there was one particular day, it just rained the whole time. We all got soaking wet. And that was like their favorite part. That was because they just got to do it together. They experienced it together. They had that experience. They overcame it. They came out on the other side even better than they were before. I mean, the list of life lessons that you learn from something like that, we don't have enough time to go through it all today, right? So that's a part of the experience as well. As a reminder, there are 4 BSA high adventure bases. You can learn about them all right there. Registration opens on Thursday. Be sure and tune in to our social media channels on Thursday again, where we will be going live independently from each base at various times of the day, just to check in and see how things are going.
Absolutely. Aaron, I'm doing some official comment picking with my random comment picker right now. We're moments away from giving away both a tent and an awesome pack. We'll go over the details on those again in just a second. Thanks to Alps Mountaineering for making that happen for us. John says they're planning for Sea Base in 2025. You said something earlier poignant. You were saying not everyone can do this. And that's true. And to some extent, if you're medically cleared to go to a high adventure base and you can train up for it, anyone can do it if they have the opportunity. But being a scout, being in Scouts BSA or venturing or Sea Scouts or even an explorer, you have a very unique access to these bases that your peers don't. So I think that's something, capitalize on this, because yes, you're going to have the experience of a lifetime. Yes, you're going to learn a lot, but I bet you there's a good chance a lot of the folks watching this who've been to high adventure bases have talked about their experiences when they were at job interviews or, with colleagues. It really does set you apart. It changes your life. It sticks in your memory. And I think a lot of you from your comments really just want to go back.
Yeah. Throughout my career at the Boy Scouts, Gina, and I've been here for a couple of decades, and I've talked to former scouts, many of them famous people, names you might recognize, people you know. And when they talk about their memory, we're talking about astronauts, our good friend, the NFL football trainer, all these folks who have gone on to these really, really cool jobs, cool careers. And there's one thing that they talk about their experience in scouting. Heck, I was lucky enough to interview the BSA's new president and CEO. What was his favorite experience in scouting? It was a trip to the National High Adventure Base. They all talk about how it changed their lives and it shaped the person they became. And it played a role in their success. You learn on the trail how to cook a meal when it's chillier than you thought it was going to be, or it's raining, or it's windier than you thought it was going to be, and how to set up a tent, all these things like that. The skills that you learn from that, the mental toughness, the confidence. We haven't even talked about parents whose kids go off to a high adventure base. When they come home, they're different. They're not the same kids, right? They're completely different because they've learned so much and they've grown so much.
We are getting a lot of love for Alps Mountaineering in the comments, which is really cool. We love all our sponsors, but I've never seen such an outpouring of love for a sponsor before. So we got to also say thank you, Alps Mountaineering, because
absolutely.
You've empowered us to be able to give away this $300 tent right now. This is the Acropolis 4-person tent, if you want to check it out. It's pretty cool. It's easily assembled. I cannot read this. I'm so sorry. It's easy to assemble. Okay. And I think that's very important. I think we all agree on that. And I think it's going to be especially important for this winner who was shouting out their Cub Scout pack. And it's Eugene Mastrangeli.
I think you nailed that pronunciation. Eugene, congratulations.
Eugene, please correct me in the comments.
Yours. Yeah, yes.
And keep your eyes on your though. It is. So feel free to keep it for yourself or share with your pack. Yeah. There's nothing like a Cub Scout pack meeting where you bring a tent and just challenge them to see if they can assemble it.
That's one of the Aerolite requirements, is to set up a tent. That is such a cool idea, Gina. Yes, bring it to your Cub Scout meeting and show them how it works. Very, very cool. There's Eugene. Yes, you're welcome, Gene. Thank you. And what does Eugene need to do, Gina? Keep his eye on his inbox. Is that right? That's
exactly right. I see that you commented via Facebook, so we'll find you there, message you, and get your address and ship this your way. So keep your eyes out.
Now, this tent, Gina, is just the first of 2 items that we have to give away. The second item is a backpack, a nice backpack. Again, Gina, you don't necessarily we've always talked about how you don't have to spend tons of money for a nice backpack. This is a great price point for a backpack, $250. What's better about the one we're giving it away today is that it's free. It's free. Gina, do we have a winner of our backpack yet?
We do. And of course, I'm going to delay telling you who it is because I want you all to know that if you didn't win today, you need to tune in on Thursday. Keep your eyes on your Facebook. It should notify you when we go live. We'll be live for very short periods of time, but there will be other giveaways at this Thursday. But nothing quite like this Nomad 75-liter pack. I think I saw somewhere that it was rated the #1 pack by somebody. I don't know, but I was doing a little research beforehand. So this is an award-winning pack You even had a commenter saying they had a smaller version of it and they loved it. But now this pack that you're seeing on screen, graciously sponsored by Alps Mountaineering, is going to David Nelson, who I believe he said he'd been to one of the high adventure bases. I was trying to read his comment. Oh yeah, he's giving some input on fundraising, which we really appreciate. I feel like he said he went to Philmont. David, remind us in the comments and keep your eyes on your inbox. We'll be messaging you to get your address. If you were watching on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook, you were entered to win these prizes today. We have a fancy comment picker that picks these at random. So thank you all for tuning in and commenting along with the show. The giveaways don't end. They are going to continue on Thursday. And the opportunities for something really, 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 really fun don't end, because we're talking about high adventure-based trucks again on Thursday.
Yep. As a reminder, Thursday is when the high adventure experience, high adventure registration opens up for 2025. Be sure and check the website. I think, yeah, there you go. Check the website. And again, as a real quick reminder, if you'd like to get more information, we've gone over some of the resources today. You can't go wrong with the Facebook pages and YouTube channels of the 4 high adventure bases themselves: Northern Tier, Summit Bechtel Reserve, Philmont, and Sea Base. If you just go on to Facebook or YouTube and search for those channels, you will see a lot of educational videos, a lot of stuff. If you're not familiar with those bases, really everything you need to know, you can get right there. Gina, we're 1 day, 8 hours, 22 minutes, and 55 seconds away from registration opening up. Whew, this was exciting, Gina. This was fun.
It's so fun. So easy to just keep talking about. 2 funny comments to read. Well, one interesting and one that makes me laugh. One is David saying he's one of our winners. He has a triple crown. He's been to Philmont, Sea Base, and Northern Tier. Seems like he's got to get to the summit.
Maybe
we got to get
time
to
to get that Grand Slam, David. There's a thing called the Grand Slam now, David. So yeah, you might want to check that out. Yep.
And then Carol makes me laugh so hard. She so appreciates what we're doing from a mother in Missouri. And all I can think is, a mother in Missouri, we appreciate what you're doing. We're not doing anything compared to you.
Absolutely, yes. Our mothers in Missouri are the real heroes.
It's probably really cold there. It's cold here. Can't imagine there.
I bet it is. Yep.
Well, we hope you guys are all staying warm. If you're at Sea Base, why would I even say that to you? You're feeling great right now.
Yeah.
Everyone, this is just the pre-show to the real show, which is Thursday when High Adventure Base 2025 registration opens. That's the big deal.
Yeah, you want to be sure to tune into your BSA social media channels on Thursday. It's whatever page you're on right now. We'll be going live intermittently throughout the day, checking in with the different bases. And again, be sure you check out the official Facebook pages of all 4 high adventure bases. Thank you all for watching today. We appreciate it. We hope we've helped you be a little bit more prepared for registration on Thursday. Okay, deep breath, Gina. We made it. We did it. Good job. Excellent job by all our viewers. Loved the comments. Loved you guys sharing all of your high adventure stories and tips. Until Thursday, we'll see you guys later.
Thanks, Alps Mountaineering. Come back to the show anytime.
100%. Yes, we would love to have you back. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.